Hi guys, in this video today I'm going to show you how to draft off-shoulder bustier top in a very simple way. This is the paper I'm using for the front part and this is my starting point. So I'm going to start by measuring from my shoulder. I'm going to measure my chest line, which is 8 inches because my round armhole is 16 inches. If I divide it by 2, that will give me 8 inches. From my shoulder to my bust point is 10 inches, which is here. From my shoulder to my under bust is 13.5 inches. From my shoulder to my waist is 17 inches. And from my shoulder to the full length of my top is 23 inches. Depends on how long you want your top. So I'm going to roll all this line out now. And now that I'm done rolling all the points out, I'm going to measure from my center front here. I'm going to measure my neck width of 3 inches on my shoulder line, which is here. So, and I'm going to measure half of my shoulder measurements there as well, which is 7.5 inches, which is here. So that's 7.5 inches. I'm going to do that on my chest line. So let me label my lines for me not to get confused at later on. So chest line, bust point, under bust, waistline, and the full length of my top. So I'm going to connect this point together to form my armhole line. I haven't done that. I'm going to come down from my shoulder here on my armhole line. I'm coming down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. So I'm going to connect from here to here for my shoulder slope, from my neck width to here for my shoulder slope. So the length of my, what I'm using for my off shoulder, I'm using 4.5 inches for my off shoulder. So I'm measuring that from my shoulder line, 4.5 inches. I'm doing that on my center front as well to make it equal. And I'm going to connect both points together. So this is where my off shoulder is going to start from now. So on my bust point, I'm going to measure out half of my nipple to nipple measurement from my center front, which is 3.5 inches because my nipple to nipple measurement is 7 inches. I'm doing that on the full length of my top, and I'm going to connect all the way from here till the down part of it. And now to create my dart, I'm going to measure 1 inch from my bust point. I'm measuring 1 inch downward like this. So on both sides on my bust point, under bust line, I'm going to come in by 0.75, which is 3/4 of an inch. So on both, which is here now. So on my waistline, I'm going to come in by ½ inch on both sides, which is here. So I'm going to connect from here to here till I reach the down part of my top, just like this. So I'm going to connect from here to here, from here to here with the cup side of my roller, just like this. So I'm going to blend this sharp edge here for me not to get any problem while sewing it. So I haven't done that. So I'm going to measure what I have here on my shoulder slope and divide it by 2. What I have here now is 4.5 inches. I'm dividing it by 2. So here's the middle of it. So I'll now connect from here to my bust point, slantly like this, for me to create my upper dart. So on my off shoulder line here, on this side I'm coming in by 1.25, while on this side I'm coming in by 0.75. So this side is now up to 1 inch. So I will now connect from here to here and from here to here, which is my bust point line. So I'm going to input 1/4 of my bust on my chest line, 1/4 of my waist on my waistline, and 1/4 of my hip on my hip line, which is the full length of my top. So on my chest line here, I'm imputing 1/4 of my bust. My bust is 36 inches divided by 4, give me 9 inches plus ½ inch is, that is 9.5, which is here. So I'm cutting out that here. I'm cutting out 0.75 of that here. So I'm going to replace it back here for me not to be short of fabric at the end of the day. So on my under bust, I'm going to input 1/4 of my under bust there. My under bust is 32 inches divided by 4 give me 8 inches plus 1.5 inch that I'm cutting out from here. That will give me 9.5 inches all together, which is here. And on my waistline, I'm imputing quarter of my waist, which is 8.5 inches because my waist is 34 inches. Circumference of my waist is 34 inches. If I divide it by 4, that will give me 8.5 inches. I'm cutting out half inch here. That will give me 9.5 inches all together, which is here. So on my hip line, I'm doing the same thing. Quarter of my hip, which is 10 inches because my hip, the circumference of my hip is 40 inches. So I'll now connect all the points together. So just like this. To make it look a little bit sexier at the bottom here on my side, I'm going to come up by 1.5 inch. If you like, you can make it 2 inches, depends on how you want it. So I will now connect with the cuff side of my ruler to meet my dart here. That's it. So for me to create armhole for my off shoulder, I'm going to input what I have on my chest line. To get that, just measure from one bra stripe to the second one. So what I have on my own is 9 inches. If I divide it by 2, that will give me 4.5 inches. So I'm going to measure what I have here, what I have from here to here. You know, I'm cutting out this middle dart here. So what I have here to this place, I'm going to measure what I have there. What I have here now is 3.75. It's not up to 4.5 inches. So 3.75 from, if I take away 3.75 from 4 inches, the remaining one will give me 0.75. So that's 0.75. I'm going to measure it from here now to complete it. It's not up to 1, yeah, it's not up to 1 inch. So this is where 0.75 is. So I'm going to measure half inch downward from my chest line for ease. So I'll now connect with the cuff side of my ruler from here to this place, just like this. So having done that, I'm good to go. I'm cutting this dart out. So before I cut it, I've forgotten to shape out my neckline. So to get what shape I want for my neckline, I can just come down from this line by 1 inch or 1.5 inches. I mean 1.5 or 2 inches, depends on how low I want it, but I'm making it 1.5. So from here now, I just connect from here to this place with the cuff side of my ruler. You can make it sweetheart neckline if you want, but if you want to make it sweetheart neckline, let me show you how to do that. Just place your ruler like this, the cuff side of your ruler, and connect it. So I'm making it like a bolt neckline. I'll just connect it this way. And to make it equal, because I'm going to measure what I have here, the dart leg that is here is longer than what I have here. What I have here is 5.5 inches and what I have here is 6 inches. To make it equal, I will just deduct half inch from the top here and shape my neckline. So I'm going to shape it this way. Note, if you are making sweetheart neckline here, you are going to place your ruler like this on this part too to make it equal at the end of the day. So I'm good to go. I'll just cut it out now. That is all for the front part. After cutting, I'll now move on to the back part. So now I'm done cutting. This is my side front. I'm cutting 2 pieces. This is my center front. I'll just cut one piece of this because I'm going to cut it on fold. This will be 2 pieces. Just put my front aside and place another paper for my back part. Now here is another paper for my back part, which I've already drawn all the lines I need out. So this is my chest line, this is my waist line, and this is my full length, which is the hip line. So here is my shoulder line. So on my shoulder line, I'm going to measure 3 inches for my neck width and half of my shoulder measurement, which is 7.5 inches like I did on the front part. I'm doing the same thing here from this line. So this is my zipper allowance line of 1.5 inch. So 7.5 inches from this line, which is half of my shoulder, half of my shoulder measurement. So I'm going to connect these 2 points together now. So this is my armhole line. I'm coming down by 1 inch from my shoulder line for my shoulder slope. I'm going to connect from here to here, just like I did on the front part. I haven't done that. I'm going to input half of my nipple to nipple measurement on my chest line. I'm doing the same thing on the bottom of the top, and I'm going to connect straight down. So this is my nipple to nipple measurement line, just for me to draw out my dart. Now to draw out my dart, I'm going to come down by 1 inch from my shoulder, from my chest line, just like this. And on both sides on my waistline, I'm coming in by ½ inch. So I'll just connect like so from here to here till I reach the bottom of my top. On my chest line, I'm going to input 1/4 of my bust from this line. 1/4 of my bust is 9 inches plus ½ inch east, which is here. So on my waistline, I'm inputting 1/4 of my waist. My waist is 34 inches divided by 4, giving 8.5 inches. I'm cutting out ½ inch from here. That'll give me 9.5 inches, which is here. So on my hip line, I'm inputting 1/4 of my hip, which is 10 inches. So I'm going to connect from here to here till I reach the bottom of my top. I haven't done that. To make it look a little bit sexier like I did on the front part, I'm going to measure 1.5 inch upward from the bottom of my top, and I'm going to connect from here to here with the cuff side of my roller, just like this. After that, I'm going to measure 4.5 inches for the length of my off shoulder, like I did on the front part, from my shoulder line, just like this. I'm doing the same thing here, 4.5 inches, and I'm going to connect like so. So to finish up with my back part, I'm going to increase this nipple to nipple line measurement to meet my off shoulder. So I have 3.5 inches for the half of my nipple to nipple measurement, and I'm going to connect like this. Now to create neckline for my back part, what I have on my back part is more than what I have on my front part. If you measure from one brass stripe from the second one on the back part, you will see that is more than what you will have on your front part. So what I have on my back part is 10 inches divided by 2, give me 5 inches, which is here. So I'll now place my front side of my front. I'm going to place it like this for me to draw out my armhole, and make sure you measure ½ inch downward here to make it align on each other. So I'm going to draw it out now, just like this, tracing it out. So this is my armhole for the back part. So let's adjust it. So for the length of my neckline on the back part, I'm going to measure 1.5 inches, and I'm going to connect from here to the place now, just like this. So that's just it for the back part. I'm cutting out this. So I'll go ahead and cut my back out now. Lest I forget, to avoid any folding on the back part on my waistline, I'll just come in by ½ inch here. I'm going to connect from here to here, from here till the down part of my top. So to avoid short of fabric, what you are cutting out from here, just replace it here and reconnect it. But I'm going to cut my own this way. Now I'm done cutting. This is my back part. I'm cutting two pieces. This is my side back, and this is my center back. So I'm cutting 2 pieces of this and 2 pieces of this because of the zipper. So the sewing aspect of it is going to be in the next video. If you find this tutorial helpful, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel to support my channel. If you have any question pertaining to cutting and sewing, you can join me on my Facebook group, Details to Sewing, created by Akorede Adenike. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Akorede Adenike. Please show some love by liking and following my page on Facebook at Akorede Adenike Sewing Tutorial. Till I see you in my next video, guys. Stay safe, stay blessed. Bye for now.